Hi everyone, this is Tony Kybert from Freestyle Solutions. We're going to start the webinar now. We've got a number of attendees already on, and we're expecting some more to join as we go through. As Sean mentioned, there's an opportunity to ask questions through the question panel, so feel free just to enter those. We've had some already through the registration process, so we'll answer those as we go through the webinar. So on today's webinar, in addition to myself, we have Chris Anderson. Chris is the General Manager for Fog Software, and he'll introduce himself a little bit more. In addition to Sean, who's our Head of Marketing, who's managing the webinar, and then Jim Cahill. Jim is the Director of Sales and Marketing. Okay. So I'm going to hand off to Chris. Chris is going to give you an introduction, overview of Fog Software. We'll spend a few minutes doing that. We'll also share with you some more insight into the implications and impact on the day-to-day business operations here at Freestyle. And then we're going to jump into a question and answer session. As I said, we've had a number of questions already. We've tried to group a number of like questions together, so hopefully we'll answer many questions in just one response. As I mentioned, feel free to continue to ask questions through the question panel. Chris?
Thanks, Tony. Hi everybody. My name is Chris Anderson, and I'm the General Manager of Retail and Logistics Sectors for Fog Software. I've been with Fog for about 10 years. I came to Fog via an acquisition. They were a company that they acquired as well back in 2007, and I'm pleased to speak to the user group today. This meeting is really about Freestyle Solutions, but I want to give you a little bit of information about the new ownership structure. We actually started pursuing Freestyle Solutions back in the Dynacomp days, and we finally, about a month ago or so, finally came to a transaction with the then current owners, the investors, who are looking to exit the business. And I want to give you a little bit of background about us and what makes us different than other investors in software companies. So Fog Software is formerly known as the Freedman Corporation. It's based in Deerfield, Illinois, and now it's an operating group, or Freedman Operating Group, hence the acronym of Constellation Software. Constellation is the largest software company in Canada. It's publicly traded. Last year revenues are about $2.3 billion. Market cap today is of over $15 billion. We are a global conglomerate and acquirer and runner of vertical software companies. Within the operating group, there are 6 operating groups, Fog being one of those. And what's a little different than us, we're not a private equity company. We don't buy a company and then flip it out after 3 years. We have a long-term buy and hold for life philosophy. So when we buy a company, it is a long-term permanent marriage. That applies not only to the company, but also the products and brands that we acquire. So we have no intention to rebrand Freestyle or M.O.M or SiteLink to Fog this or Fog that. We don't believe in changing that. We're here to really support and grow the M.O.M product lines. And I think you'll see that with our kind of a little overview here in the next couple of slides. Go ahead, Sean, address it, or advance it. So Fog is, we focus on, I would say, manufacturing, distribution, e-commerce, and retail software company acquisitions and running those companies. So in all these sort of segments in the supply chain, we've got, if not one company, multiple solutions in that. I think one of the questions from the panel here, or the user group, was what other companies do we own? We'll talk about that. But basically, we have now, I think, 19 companies in the manufacturing space, warehousing space, and certainly retail and e-commerce spaces. So if you make something, move something, and then fulfill it down to the end consumer or down that part of the supply chain, we've got solutions all along that value chain. That's one of our value adds to our customers, that if your company grows, when you're using our retail solution with M.O.M, we may have something adjacent to that may be of interest, or vice versa. If you were running one of our manufacturing systems, you want to get into e-commerce, well, we would have something like Freestyle's M.O.M solution to be a complementary solution set too. So go ahead and advance that, Sean. So we're truly, our operating group as well as Constellation, we're a global company. Most of our companies that we run are based here in North America, US, and Canada, but you'll see some acquisitions that we have done in Europe and Australia as well. All these logos that you see on the map here are actually where those offices reside. So what we can imply from that is we have a very decentralized approach. We don't move things to our corporate office in Chicago or Toronto. So therefore, we've assumed the lease here in New Jersey and intend to keep the company here and all the core team members here as well. We believe that in a software company, the true asset is really employees who give you service and new product releases, and that's just a philosophy of ours here. We don't disturb those things. Go ahead, Sean. So someone asked, some of the other solutions that we have. Here's just a quick snapshot of some of these. You'll see ERP solutions, transportation management solutions, warehousing solutions. Then on the right, I'll point out a couple of things here. See CoreSense as a previous investment on the right column there in retail and e-commerce, sort of a smaller company compared to Freestyle. Freestyle is certainly our flagship e-commerce and retail investment. We have another legacy company too in the sort of multi-channel merchant space down in the Miami area, the small install base. So we do have an investment in that multi-channel order management and retail e-commerce spaces. But certainly, again, as I mentioned, the Freestyle is our largest and certainly largest customer base. We're here to promote that customer base and promote the product and sell new product. Go ahead, Sean. So I kind of mentioned earlier in another slide, along the value chain here, we've got manufacturing systems, distribution, logistics, and then retail and fulfillment. And here's a little, I believe, a little cleaner view of that kind of world. So on the right side, where Freestyle is, some other company names, and you probably won't recognize some of these, but ASA Tire, as a matter of fact, is the largest retail solution for tire dealers. So if you had a tire dealer down the street from your house, you're buying tires, you're buying those at a point of sale system. No doubt they're using ASA Tire. Megabus is its equivalent down in Australia. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, is a cloud-based e-commerce and retail solution. CSI is, again, more of a legacy order management solution, and Freestyle is sort of, again, the largest one on the retail fulfillment side we have. But that being said, upstream, we've got some deep warehousing experience in the middle with Logimax and Cadre, Argo specifically, then upstream from that, manufacturing solutions as well. Some of them very specialized for certain industries. All right, Sean, we're almost there, folks, and we'll get back to Freestyle. So again, I guess kind of wind it down, what FOG means is that we're long-term buy and hold owners. We have a very decentralized approach. We're not moving folks to any new office, all residing here as they were previously. And we're here to focus them back on M.O.M. The last few years, I've been focusing on another product line that was a bit of a distraction to M.O.M, we believe, and we're here to support the M.O.M product set and advance those solutions and put new versions out for you guys in the future. I think, Sean, I made my last slide, so one more, and then I think we'll turn it back to Tony here. One more slide enough again. And what this means to you folks is that your investment in M.O.M and SiteLink are protected. We're here to promote it. We're not here to shut those products down. So we want to make sure M.O.M is available to you 20 years down the line. What the other benefit of our decentralized solution is, we've got our parent company as well as Freestyle is very profitable and stable. So we have deep pockets for further investment if we need to have that in the future. But it is a stabilizing factor for the company as well. The company does not have to borrow money for future investments should they need that. We have the advantage of being part of a big company, but very decentralized approach. So all the folks that you folks are typically interacting with will remain the same, and you get the advantages of both worlds, in my opinion. So I think that's really it from my side. Any questions about FOG or the acquisition? You could throw those at me now or a later time in the presentation.
Okay, great. All right, thanks, Chris. We're going to jump into the Q&A session now. As I mentioned, we already had some questions submitted through the registration process. We've had a few come over real time during the webinar, so I'll make my best attempt to answer all of those. As I said, we've tried to group like type of questions into a set. So I hope that we can cover all the questions. Obviously, you have that contact information. If there's anything you'd like to ask us one-to-one after the webinar, feel free to contact us. We're happy to have those conversations. So let me jump into the questions as we've seen them. So we've had a general question around, how will this impact me, our customer, you, the merchant, and as you've heard from Chris already, the philosophy on the FOG side is really the value they see in the people and the product. And the reality is that on a day-to-day basis, there should be no change. You're going to be dealing with the same people, the same contact information, the same brand, et cetera, et cetera. However, what it does do, as a result of the acquisition and the way that FOG think about this long-term investment, the buy and hold strategy, does give us an opportunity to rethink how we do business with our customers and think about more long-term planning initiatives and really adopt this software for life philosophy and how we can from a long-term planning perspective continue to protect your investment in our products. And you'll be hearing some more from us on that subject in the next few weeks. We're working through some ideas with the FOG team of how we can reshape the way that we do business, and again, we'll be sharing that shortly. There's been several questions about the product. So what's the long-term plan for M.O.M and SiteLink? What influence will FOG have over product planning? Would there be new releases, etc.? So the answer to all of that is yes. There will be continued investment in the M.O.M and SiteLink products, as Chris indicated. We've got we're refocusing all of our efforts, 100% effort, and focus on the M.O.M and SiteLink products. We will be making longer-term plans and roadmap plans for those products. We'll seek FOG's input in terms of what are they seeing. As you saw, they've got a broad portfolio of products and access to the market space. So we'll be seeking input from them on what they see that's happening and how that might impact our roadmap. But in addition to that, and there were some questions on this about a user group, we want to involve the customers more to help us to do product planning and roadmap planning and content for releases. So you'll see some things from us that will be related to more of a focus group type of structure, where we can invite customers to come in and talk to us about the business issues, what ideas we've got for the product, how that might reflect in terms of the business issues you're trying to deal with, and help us build out a good solid roadmap for the product, both in the near term and in the long term. There were some questions about other products and solutions that FOG offers. I think you heard that from Chris, and if you have anything more to add to that, Chris, you've got a good overview of that.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we do have adjacent solutions. If you go to fogsoftwaregroup.com, we have even more content there. Again, for a lot of you folks, M.O.M may be in SiteLink, maybe your primary system of record, your ERP solution, if you will. Perhaps some of the larger companies here, it's just a point solution, part of a larger IT investment, and we do, and many of our customers do have multiple products within FOG, so they might have a manufacturing and a transportation solution, or an e-commerce and a warehousing solution. So we do have that advantage. We can, as we get to know you and your account managers know you, feel free to reach out to them or Tony, and anything of interest too, just reach back out. So if you've got a hole in your solution gap somewhere outside of M.O.M, we may or may not have a solution for you, and that's, again, part of our value prop that we deliver. So we do, yes. Okay, Tony?
Yeah, I think in line with that, there's some questions about does M.O.M already integrate with some of those FOG packages, and there are none yet. But if there's a particular need or an opportunity to do that, we're ready and willing to put the investment into to make that happen. So happy to talk to customers or if you've got any needs or ideas in that area. There were some other questions around how does the acquisition affect older versions of the software, legacy versions of the software, etc. So just as a normal software company, we'll continue to review support for older versions of the software and the base technology, as any software company does. So no real change in terms of how we would do that. However, as I mentioned before, I think with the acquisition, we can think about different ways of actually doing business and enabling access to the recent or more up-to-date versions of the software. Again, in this concept of the software for life, and again, we're working through some ideas currently, and we'll be ready to share those probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll have something out to everyone. There was a specific question around 24/7 support. That's currently available. If anyone's interested in that, we're obviously happy to talk about the details there. Just reach out to your account rep and they'll talk you through that. There were some questions around very specific things around integrations with Magento, Magento 2, updates to Amazon, some questions around integration with channel advisors, so those kind of external third-party type integrations. They're all very valid questions. Some are already in progress, so we're planning to have the Magento 2 integration available for beta testing in the next 2 to 4 weeks, so sometime in April. As it relates to Amazon and Channel Advisor, they're the kind of topics that we would want to seek input from the focus group. So, what are the updates that we should be applying for Amazon customers? What is there any kind of time frame associated with that? Do those things have a broad appeal to the broader customer base, or are they very specific to one particular vertical or one particular business issue? So the focus groups are going to be the mechanisms that we want to use to get your input and get your feedback on what we should be prioritizing for releases. And again, you'll be hearing more about that idea going forward. In the same frame, there was a question around, do we have plans to go and meet with customers? Do we have the idea of a broader user group? How do customers make suggestions of product updates? So personally, I'd like to meet with every customer. I've had the opportunity to meet with some customers already since the time I've been here, but I'd like to, and I will be doing more of that. Chris will probably take the opportunity to join me on some of those meetings as well, so you'll be seeing one or both of us at any one moment in time. If there's enough of a core group of customers in a particular area, we may consider something like a breakfast meeting or a lunch meeting to kind of get people together. So we'll be seeing some invitations from us on that front. We're also open to hosting you here. So if you'd like to come and spend some time with us, help us to understand more about the business issues that you're dealing with, how we might be able to help those. We're happy to host customers, and some of you have already done that with us. But again, we're happy to host you here and spend time with you in our offices here in New Jersey. And as I mentioned, we do want to be more open to customer input and ideas, and the focus group is the mechanism by which we're going to enable that. There's been some questions around the people, how it affects technical support. And actually a question from UK customers. I think there may be some UK customers on the call and how it impacts them. So as I mentioned before, day-to-day, your contracts, all that kind of stuff, that all stays in place. The day-to-day world is going to continue as it is. The people, the main bulk of the people have stayed, as you heard from Chris, the value is in not only the products and our customers, but the people in the organization who understand our customers, who understand our products, understand the domain space. So the core group has remained within the company. And from a support point of view, what we're going to be doing is looking at providing more online tools that are more modern technologies than versus our current support structure and the current support tools that we have out there. So in the near future, we'll be rolling out some additional tools that will give you more real-time online access to support situations, to knowledge-based articles, frequent questions, FAQ type of things. So we want to get a lot of that, information and knowledge that we have in the group here, have that shared more broadly and accessible to our users. So that's something that we've already started working on. I'll be rolling out over the next few weeks and months. There was a question around BizSync. So again, in line with, we don't mean to forget about BizSync, but when we think about M.O.M, we think about the M.O.M universe involving all of the associated products, so whether that's SiteLink, whether that's BizSync, whether that's our third-party integrations. So think about, as we talk about product roadmap and product planning, all of those things are part of that consideration. So as you've heard already, we're 100% committed to the M.O.M product base, so the product product set, and that includes SiteLink, that includes BizSync, and all of our third-party integrations as well. I'm just going to check to see what questions we've had come in real time, see if there's anything else that we need to cover that we haven't already covered. Okay, so there's a few questions that have come in which are very specific to your situation, so we'll follow up directly with you one-on-one with those, just so they get squared away. I think we've covered all the main themes and topics that we've had through the questions that came through. Again, we're happy to take an email or a call from anyone that wants to have a discussion one-on-one. If you want to do that with me, I'm happy to do that. My email is tony.k@freestylesolutions.com. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to jump on a call and talk a little bit more about what's going on.
Yes, this is Chris here. If you want any questions about FOG software, you can email me directly at C.Anderson, so C.A.N.D.E.R.S.O.N @fogsoftwaregroup.com. Again, C.Anderson@fogsoftwaregroup.com. Be happy to answer any corporate questions outside of Freestyle or M.O.M product level, which I'm not that familiar with, to the level of the folks here in the room with me. Thank you.
Okay, I think anything else, Sean, come in?
A couple of more one-on-one questions that we'll take care of.
So we'll cover those offline.
Yeah, we'll cover those questions offline, like Tony stated. The recording will be available and emailed out to you guys tomorrow morning, going over what you heard here, the general questions. If you do have anything more specific, you heard some of the emails that you can reach out. You can also reach out to marketing@freestylesolutions.com with any technical or any questions that we have, and then we'll pass it over to the appropriate person if we can't answer it ourselves. So once again, thank you all for attending today. We'll give you 5 minutes back of your time, so go out there and help out wherever's needed.
Yep, that's it. Okay, thanks again, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you for your time.